Hey everybody, how's it going? You ready for a nerd panel?
Cool, thanks for the song. That was awesome. That was really cool.
Hey, what you got?
Okay, how's the AVGN movie coming along?
The AVGN movie.
Indiegogo, yeah!
Oh, thank you so much for that, by the way. Yeah, the Indiegogo donations have been great. And even if you haven't donated, if you're just planning to buy a ticket when it comes out, that's great too. So thanks everybody for all the support on that. The nerd movie actually, well, this is my last East Coast convention for now until I embark on my cross-country road trip to California to shoot the movie, and then hopefully when I come back I have all the principal photography done on it. So right now we've been working with getting visual effects artists locked down and basically hiring people and just all the business stuff. So there's nothing really that interesting to talk about yet. And when I get there, we're going to still be in pre-production for a while. About by the middle of April, we should be shooting all the main stuff. And that's probably going to go on for another month or so. And or beginning April, I think. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'm going to keep posting updates on Cinemassacre for it. The movie, I know a lot of people don't know what to really expect with the movie, but I think I've explained before that it's like the nerd, basically like leaving the nerd room, so you actually see where does the nerd go to work, or what happens with that. So you actually do see he does have things to do outside of the room, and then there's a big adventure, and all kinds of stuff happens. And of course the game, I think I mentioned the game that we are talking about in the movie is the infamous E.T. on Atari. Yeah. My friend from high school, Kevin Finn, who I used to make movies with all the time, he was a co-writer on the film. So basically, for a few years now, this has been going on. We wrote this thing many years ago. Pretty much at the end of 2006, when the nerd was getting popular on YouTube, we were thinking oh, what could it be like if we did a nerd movie, and we started trying to write it, and basically by 2008 we had it all written out. But it took a lot of brainstorming. Kevin would fly over from LA, and he would come over to my house a lot of times, and we'd sit together and we'd talk about it, and we would mix our humor and everything. And a lot of times when I was in doubt, he would encourage me. If there was an idea, I was like, is this funny? Does this work? And I said, you know what if my biggest request is E.T.? What if I did E.T. for the movie? And he's like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, because there's a story with that too. The landfill. Do you know about that story? Yeah. So this game, E.T., was so infamously bad that 2 million unsold copies were buried out in the New Mexico desert. And then it's kind of since then it's been this fabled spot in gaming history. It's like a treasure hunt, X marks the spot. And I told him this, and Kevin was like, that sounds great. We got to do the movie. And I was like, what? But everybody knows about that story. And we started working on it to see what would happen, and the script just evolved, and it got really exciting, and we came up with this wild and crazy story, and we're really excited about it. And now the last thing to do is to go make it. So it's a really ambitious film, but everybody has been so supportive of it and helped out so much that we're going to go ahead and do it. And I hope you all like it in the end. I'll go to you right there.
So during the Mr. Bucket video, you call Mike, and he answers, he's right across the way. Do you guys really have to know each other?
No, we don't actually, but that's cool. I'm glad people asked that, because the window wasn't even real. It was just, we just put that, and in fact, you know what it is? we shot my window from the outside and we put that there. So the actual window that you're seeing behind me is the same window that I'm sitting in. But it worked, so it worked good enough. You with the green wristband.
I gotta say your Halloween episodes were terrific this year. They just keep getting better and better. What's your personal favorite horror film to watch?
Oh, my favorite horror film in general. It's hard to say because there's so many different genres. Oh yeah, I mean, I love the Evil Dead films. I love, going all the way back to the silent era. I love The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari because it's so visually warped. I love the Universal monster movies. I couldn't really pick one. I guess The Wolfman maybe would be my favorite of those. But yeah, there's so many of them. Night of the Living Dead is also one that inspired me a lot. I'm going to go on this side here. Hey, right in the front here.
Okay. I got two questions. One, when you made the gyro in the Rob the Robot video, what happened to it after Rob didn't want it?
Oh, after Rob didn't want it?
Yeah.
Oh, I ate it. Yeah.
Okay, and when you shoot the intros for the video, I know there's shots that were never from any episodes. Were they planned episodes that you just didn't use? You just used the footage for an opening, or did you record it specifically for an opening?
Yeah, a lot of times I just shoot specifically for the opening. Yeah, like weighing the Neo Geo game on the scale, and it's like 60 pounds. Yeah, well, which it isn't really that heavy, but hey, right there.
What do you consider the prize of your video game collection?
The prize of the video game collection, like the crown jewel, I think would be the Odyssey because it's like the first home video game console. Yeah. You right there.
Yeah.
Hey.
What we really want to know is when we're going to see the epic confrontation between the happy video game nerd and the angry video game nerd to determine the fate of all anger and happiness and the universe.
I don't know. I see Derek here every year, so.
What's going to happen?
So, you took a shit on Bugs Bunny's face?
When I took a shit on Bugs Bunny's face, what happened?
What was it made out of?
Oh, what was it made out of? It was, Mike, man, you know the answer to that. That was,
Chocolate and peanut butter.
chocolate and peanut butter.
And it went up my nose.
Yeah, that's, Mike's on the camera here, so he's just filming.
All the games and game hardware that you destroyed, do you have extra copies or other?
Yeah. When it comes to destroying any games in the videos, I usually make sure I have another copy, or if it's something that's really not, worth much. Like I'll never destroy anything that's, valuable, or that's just not. Some things are broken to begin with. Like I had a Super NES that was falling apart, so I destroyed it in the Mario 3 video.
I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan.
Yeah.
Yourself, and they're kind of the reason I got into gaming. The question for you is, what's your favorite era of the Turtles franchise?
Favorite era of the Turtles franchise. I think it was like a time period, 1990. I would say. I think that was when the live action movie came out for the first time, and the cartoon series was still really big. That's when I was a big Turtle fan. Yeah. Let me see. I should go. I'm gonna go on this side. All right. Hey, red shirt right there.
How do you feel about the Milo Cody Friendship is Magic series?
I don't care for it.
Parents who have kids who are addicted to the angry video game nerd.
Oh yeah. I would. Yeah, I know. It's surprising that I have such a young audience also, because I never intended it. I always thought it was more for older gamers, but it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of educational value, I guess, with the history of gaming a little bit. But as far as the language and stuff, I don't have any advice, but I guess keep in mind it's a crude show, so definitely
They hear it anyway.
Yeah, they hear it anyway. Yeah, so yeah, so I don't know what to say. Hey.
Okay, my your videos.
Mhm.
You used to like make me watch them, so I
Yeah.
got addicted. How does your wife handle the nerdism, and are there like nerd offspring in the future to like feature in the videos?
No offspring yet, but maybe soon. How does she?
Yeah, how does she handle it? Like the collection getting out of hand, where it's like a whole other house for everything. That is
Yeah, I know. Like I got the basement, so I'm good. No, I mean I got the basement for all the shooting, and so I'm usually out of her way. But before, when we like lived in a smaller apartment and this started up, she'd come into the kitchen and there's like Mike getting shit on in a Bugs Bunny costume or something, and it's and mess all over the floor and everything. So she's actually going to be posting some stuff on the site, sharing some of those stories soon. So maybe once we settle into our temporary place, yeah.
Out of all the games that you've reviewed, how many have you actually beaten all the way through?
Not too many. No, actually quite a bit. Some of the hardest ones was Transformers, Silver. No, I didn't beat Silver Surfer. It was Street Fighter 2010. That was really hard. Oh, the Zelda CDI games. I can't believe I beat those. That was yeah. It depends. If I think the game is bad enough and I really want to go through it and see what else could be bad, see how shitty the ending is or something, I'll push myself. Yeah. Hey, right in the aisle here.
Are there any games that you really like or you think they have some kind of merit to them that everyone else seems to hate?
Games that I love that everybody else seems to hate. Not really. The only example I could think of maybe is the American Super Mario 2, which I love, but a lot of times it gets a lot of bad reputation because it's like not the real Mario 2, Doki Doki Panic. But I love that game still, yeah.
We know that AVGN has made a lot of crappy fucking games. But which one do you think is recommended that was a good AVGN game?
A good LJN game. I used to enjoy the Royal Rumble game on Super NES, and there's a Spider-Man game that's supposed to be really good too. And I forgot Maximum Carnage. Yeah. Does it suck or is it good? I don't remember.
It's playable.
It's playable? All right. So for LJN standards, at least. Oh, how do we make the fake? In the Nintendo World Championships episode, where we have the extremely rare games, we had a fake one also because we destroyed at the end. And the question is how I made the fake one look so realistic. The dip switch was the hardest part, really. It was just I printed out a piece of paper. It goes so fast you don't have a chance to notice how fake it really looks. But the label was pretty good because the label on the original isn't that hard to duplicate. It's just it's just like black text over a white blank label. So the fake one actually looked better than the real one because it's like 25 years old or whatever. How will the movie be received by people who aren't necessarily fans? I don't know. I think that'll be really interesting. I hope people who are fans won't be too disappointed. They're the only ones I'm thinking about. It's got to live up to expectations, and it's hard not to hype it too much because it's going to take so long to make it. But the people who don't even know who the nerd is, I think it'll be mixed again. But it'll be. I think it'll have a pretty good reaction with a lot of people because it's like nothing else. It's just I saw this movie about this guy who hated a video game so much, and so I think it would it would have that kind of effect. It would still be good. Hey, right here. Yeah, you.
Hey,
oh no, okay. Well, that's cool. You can go first. I'll get you both.
Hey, I love the making of video that you did. I found that really, really entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
My question is, not as the nerd, but as James, what video game has made you the angriest, and how did you dish out that anger?
The video game that made me the angriest probably is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And when I revisited it again after all those years, it still definitely, like, I was actually trying to beat it the second time, like really learn how it's played and do it for real, get serious with it. And no, it's just, I couldn't get past like the fourth level. It just gets too impossible. Hey. Oh, what kind of release am I planning for the movie? It's probably the best way to explain it is just kind of do the regular independent run. Like, has anybody seen any of Bruce Campbell's recent movies? Bubba Hotep, Man with the Screaming Brain, and My Name is Bruce. Like, you hear about them for years and years, and then finally they come out in like local theaters or just, like smaller theaters. And then eventually, at the end of it all, they come out on DVD. That's the worst case scenario, that it would just play small theaters and then come out on DVD. So either way, you'll see it, and maybe it'll play bigger theaters. We'll take it on tour and stuff. So that's what we're planning now.
Are there any games that you reviewed on the stand-up and what's in your mind that you liked as a kid and then you play it later as you realize how horrible the game was?
Are there any games I played that I liked as a kid and then hated as I grown up? Probably a lot of them, I'd say. Like, maybe Bad Dudes. I used to like that a lot, and it's not. You know what I used to love? I used to love the fighting mode in Double Dragon. The versus mode, and now I play it, and it's the worst thing ever. So.
How do you actually find that stuff or find out about that stuff usually?
The really rare videos like the Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny and the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
I found Santa Claus one in A to Z video.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so Mike found that one. A lot of them find at like video stores that are going out of business.
Me and my group are upstarting in creating horror movie style, kind of campy films. Do you have any advice for filmmakers who are starting things like that?
For like advice for making campy films?
Yes.
Like campy with like effects or just the genre.
Campy effects, genre, horror, design.
Yeah, I don't know, because I go for like a little bit of a campy thing. Like the nerd movie's going to be a little campy with stuff like that, So I would say, I guess just make sure it's like consistent. I guess make sure the whole thing is campy and it right from the beginning people know that it's supposed to be. So I guess just make it clear that they're supposed to know it's campy and everything. That's about all I could think of. Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck.
Do you love VHS?
In some ways, I do. I mean, it's not. I really don't miss having to rewind every tape that I have. So mostly no. I pretty much, avoid watching VHS tapes. But sometimes you find an old movie and it only exists on VHS, and that's the only way to watch it. So no. But for nostalgic reasons, yeah. We all grew up with VHS, so it's.
But DVDs are bullshit.
They are. Everything. VHS was the less bullshitty. It's just obsolete. That's all. But there's a difference between obsolete and bullshit. So, hey.
Yeah, my friends and I really enjoy NBA Jam. Do you have a favorite team in that game?
Oh no, I don't actually. But NBA Jam was probably the coolest of all the basketball games I played. But yeah. I don't know. Cool, yeah. I don't usually play sports games that often, but yeah, that would probably be the best. Yeah. Hey, right here.
Yeah. Now that the Zelda timeline has been somewhat officially been revealed, how are you gonna update your chronology for Zelda?
Oh yeah. I'm getting so many emails right now about that. Like Nintendo just officially laid out the Zelda timeline, and it's just funny how it just keeps going backward. But I don't really care much about it. But I think the greatest take I ever saw was the Link to the Future video. That somebody did a really great parody, which makes fun of the Zelda timeline. And if you haven't seen it, check that out. Hey.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what is your ultimate career aspiration? Like, where do you see yourself in like 10 or 15 years?
My future aspiration, where I see myself 10, 15 years, hopefully just making films. Yeah, that's it. Making all kinds of different films.
I really enjoyed the review you did on Godzilla, where Nerd played the one from Xbox, like at the end of it, Mind Blown. Would he ever like do more recent games?
No, I think it's mostly about going back to the past, but I played that up because I thought that was pretty funny. Like, I pretty much made it like the nerd character doesn't even know about newer games, or like I played it up like he was really like, had never held an Xbox controller, so I thought that was pretty funny. So I see him as just being a very outdated guy who literally lives in the past.
I know you like horror movies a lot. Do you have any favorite horror video games like Resident Evil or Clock Tower or anything of the sort?
Favorite horror games?
Like Silent Hill or anything?
Mine's a little bit of a precursor to those. I guess Doom, like that was one that I remember playing. It was like one of the first games that really creeped me out as far as horror goes. Yeah. Hey. Yep.
You know what's bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
That you totally dropped. You know what's bullshit?
I know, it is.
Any particular reason?
We want to bring back the bullshit at some point, but right now, yeah. It's just been so busy, but yeah, we want it back. Hey.
If you could only play one video game for the rest of your life, past or present, what would it be?
If I'm going to play one game for the rest of my life, I'd probably pick a really long game that would be like a really long game that I remember, like Chrono Trigger or something. That's a cool game. I'm gonna take one more question.
Could we get an angry nerd outburst?
Come on. Fuck.